Hi, Taehyung lovers around the world. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers channel. Stop scrolling. Don't go anywhere. Because what we're going to talk about today isn't just about fashion. This is about the power, strategy, and influence of Kim Taehyung that is quietly shaking the world. The first 3 seconds of January 2026. Not loud sounds. Not expensive logos. Just one question that hits immediately. How is it possible that a sleeveless shirt and a pair of jeans can feel more luxurious than the Paris runway? In this content, we will break down why whatever Kim Taehyung wears always looks expensive, even when the silhouette is as simple as it can be. From a single visual that's spread widely, Taehyung presents a paradox that leaves the fashion industry frozen. Extreme simplicity that somehow feels elite. Not because of the price alone, but because of the meaning, the attitude, and the narrative he carries. The black Raf Simons tank top he wore, with text as simple as a personal note, didn't just sell out instantly, it turned into a cultural symbol. Why did that sentence make ARMY all over the world stop breathing? Why does a choice that looks ordinary feel provocative? And how can Taehyung, without saying a single word, make the world think, question, and even argue? In this video, we will unpack 1. Why Kim Taehyung's style always feels expensive without needing to show off. 2. The hidden meaning behind the globally viral Raf Simons tank top. 3. The psychological reasons why ARMY chase every detail he wears. 4. How Taehyung sells narratives, not just clothes. 5. And why the VType project confirms his position not only as an artist, but as a world-class visual creator. This content may make some people uncomfortable, others amazed, and some even angry. Because Kim Taehyung proves one thing. Simplicity can be far more unsettling than luxury that screams. Now, before we go deeper, don't forget to hit the like button if you're curious. Write your opinion in the comments, because I'm sure this discussion will get heated. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss the sharpest news, analysis, and discussions about Kim Taehyung. Because after this video, one question will stay in all our minds. Is the world really ready for Kim Taehyung, or is it always one step behind him? January 2026. There's a reason why whatever Kim Taehyung wears always looks luxurious and elegant, even when the silhouette is as simple as a sleeveless shirt and jeans. In a series of visuals that circulated widely, Kim Taehyung presents a paradox that captivates the fashion world. Extreme simplicity that feels expensive, not because of its price alone, but because of the meaning it carries. The black tank top with the iconic list-style text comes from Raf Simons, a Belgian fashion house known for its intellectual aesthetics, exploration of identity, tightly curated personal archives, and limited production. In terms of price, the item sits in the hundreds of dollars range. But after Kim Taehyung wore it, its value skyrocketed, not only economically, but symbolically and culturally. This is the moment when clothing stops being an object and begins to transform into a statement of the times. The other pieces he chose further reinforce that message. A vintage-style red t-shirt, classic cut jeans that fall almost perfectly, tall leather boots with utilitarian aura, and a bandana that looks casual yet clearly curated. There are no large logos screaming for attention. No aggressive luxury. What exists is calm confidence. And that is exactly what makes it impossible to ignore. This is Kim Taehyung's version of luxury. Not forcing itself, not showing off, but lingering long in memory. Then the question that made the digital world boil emerged. Why did everything instantly sell out worldwide? Is this purely about curiosity? Or is it because of ARMY's near fanatical love? The answer, according to fashion and pop culture industry analysts, is a combination of both. Kim Taehyung doesn't just sell clothes, he sells narratives. When he wears something, he gives emotional context, personal identity, and layers of unspoken meaning. For ARMY, owning the same piece isn't just about style. It feels like holding a fragment of a story. And that's where Taehyung's power lies, turning fabric into a global phenomenon. What surprised fashion observers was how Raf Simons found a perfect resonance in Kim Taehyung. This isn't a coincidence. Raf Simons, since its inception, has been known as a brand that dares to embrace generational anxiety, fluid masculine identity, and a form of modernity that isn't always comfortable. In Taehyung, that philosophy found its home. He doesn't just fit visually, he fits ideologically. Printed at the top of the garment is a sentence that appears simple, almost like a personal note, yet made army around the world stop breathing and wonder why Kim Taehyung chose clothing with text like this. I have 2 pairs of black jeans, 2 turtlenecks, 1 long sleeve AC/DC t-shirt, 2 pairs of shoes, no jacket. This is not a shopping list, nor is it a casual joke. It is a quiet confession about a life distilled, about an identity that doesn't need the spotlight to feel whole, about someone who knows who he is and doesn't feel the need to explain to the world. Just like Kim Taehyung himself, he isn't trying to stand out. He is simply present as he is. Every line feels raw, honest, and unpolished. And that is precisely where its strength lies. At this point, Raf Simons works with extreme precision, turning simplicity into attitude and emptiness into meaning. Taehyung doesn't merely wear the garment, he merges with it, as if the message isn't printed on fabric, but born from his body and life journey itself. Minimalist, bold, and quietly seductive. In this portrait, Kim Taehyung's image speaks even before words are formed. The firm body silhouette, the simple white tank top, classic blue jeans, and a red bandana tied, without fuss, all feel like a statement intentionally minimal yet shaking. This is not about luxury that shouts. This is about attitude, about the courage to be honest with the body, character, and a masculine identity that doesn't need to be concealed. Army understands one thing very clearly. Whatever Kim Taehyung wears never stops at the function of clothing. It always transforms into an object of desire. Hunted, searched for, traced back to its origins. Who designed it? Which collection is it from? Is it a rare archive piece or a vintage item no longer in production? Even the simple necklace circling his neck with a small, almost silent pendant became a global puzzle. What is it called? What does it mean? And why did he choose it? These questions filled forums, social media, and long discussions among fans. And that is where Taehyung's psychology works almost perfectly. Style choices like these are not accidental. Kim Taehyung understands the psychology of modern fans. Simplicity triggers curiosity, and mystery creates emotional attachment. He doesn't give complete answers. He leaves empty space. And that empty space is filled by army with discussion, theories, emotion, and ever-deepening engagement. With Taehyung, clothing is not just something worn. It is a narrative deliberately left open. All of this culminates in one artistic project that definitively confirms his new position. This is not merely an achievement, but a declaration of creative identity. Kim Taehyung stands at the forefront of his own work, not as an object being photographed, but as an architect designing his artistic image with full awareness. The photo book VType and its accompanying exhibition are direct extensions of his mind. Every visual feels measured. Every composition speaks. Every aesthetic decision appears intentional. This is not a celebrity project relying on a big name, but a visual artwork with mature artistic control. Here, the boundary between music and visual art collapses gracefully. Kim Taehyung doesn't switch fields, he expands his universe. He understands visual rhythm the same way he understands melody, with instinct, discipline, and sharp emotional sensitivity. Curators and art critics note the same thing. This is a rare approach, even on a global level. This approach positions him firmly in the world of visual art not as a guest, but as a creator with his own aesthetic language. There is no attempt to please everyone, no cheap compromises. What exists is artistic honesty allowed to speak, even if it triggers debate, pros and cons, and even anger. And perhaps this is where some people feel disturbed. Because Kim Taehyung shows something not everyone dares to do. Remain calm amid noise, stay simple amid a culture showing off, and be honest within an industry often full of masks. At this point, one conclusion becomes unavoidable and may spark long debates in the comment section. Kim Taehyung is not just an artist. He is a genius. Calm, visionary, and always one step ahead of his time. But this is precisely where the big question arises, and don't answer too quickly. Is the world truly ready to follow him? Or are we all actually falling behind, only able to stare and wonder? How could simplicity feel this disruptive? And remember, this is not over yet. In the next content, We will go deeper into a quieter, bolder, and far more surprising side of Kim Taehyung. There are details he deliberately hides. There are messages not everyone realizes he is sending. And when they are revealed, many may finally realize we have been looking at him from the wrong direction all along. So, Taehyung lovers, don't go anywhere. Stay on this channel, because what's coming next won't just make you curious. It may change the way you see Kim Taehyung forever.